Morning. Kid on his way to work. On the way to work, yes. But as we know, theists, Christians, apologetics, Israelites, and whoever else, they always use, familiar spirit, this a familiar spirit, that, for normal stuff. See, just like they use a God for dumb things. No such thing as that. When you're familiar with something, like I said again, you become familiar with it, so you spread it. So it's not a familiar spirit, it's familiar people doing familiar things. And like we said, we don't know if you got a person spying, and they just spread some familiar information. Just like every Christian that comes online. Oh, God said this, and God said, are you a familiar spirit? Because all of y'all doing the same thing. Right, so you don't have the Holy Spirit, you have a familiar spirit, right? I mean, if you want to call it that. Right, that's all. Because you're all doing the familiar, you're doing the same thing, and then you're just reporting the same thing, and then some of you right. And you know what, it's like this, right? Now, let's get deep. Fellow atheists, fellow non-believers. Let's get deep on these clowns. We got to refute. That's one thing we do. Now, is there anything familiar about these people? They're always in familiar this and familiar that. And if you look at them, if you really look at them, what's so familiar about them? The familiarity of them, they're like kids, right? Because, like we said, a kid, you can say something to a kid and the kid will repeat it in a certain way, but a kid won't understand it because he's a kid. But some of them, they claim to be so smart and they claim to be wise, which is nothing wrong with being that if that's what you are, but right, when you say something, they can't distinguish the difference between one or the other. Or they'll hear one, like I said, they'll hear one part of the word, and then, right, like I said, when you say, I don't eat a lot, a child might say, you eat a lot, because he's a child and he or she didn't really hear what you said. Somebody that just want to literally want to over talk, like I just go, I want to talk about them. They're so anxious to speak that they didn't even hear what you said. And like I said, I can have so many examples of that. And like I said, if they're trying to use psychology, well, if you use psychology, use it for a real reason. Use it to save your life or something. Don't just use it just for me to call you out. And that's what makes it. So that's the familiar part of these people. They have not grown up, because only a child repeats things in certain ways or jumps into things that they don't understand. A child does that. So that's the familiar part about them. Right? So like I said, their upbringing, they were not taught. Yeah, like I said, they were not taught to mind their manners. They were not taught certain things. So you, like I said before, I tell everybody, you can't teach boundaries that a person doesn't have, right? So their familiarity with them, they don't have boundaries. So they just, right? Whatever you say, they're right? So a kid does that because a kid is a kid, though. So we like I said, right, we're going to respect that because that's a kid. A grown-ass man that don't understand when you said not, and he says, when you, you're like, come on, bro, are you a fucking man, are you a boy, or are you retarded? And that is just real. Right, like we said, retard got a lot of different meanings. You don't gotta be on a yellow school bus to be retarded. Retard means to lack, not have, be dumb, lack of, right? Come on, we can go on and on. So, that's the point. So, familiar, right, exactly, come on. Same what they would say, they said about monitoring spirit, right, okay. No, well, we're supposed to be monitored, and if some of y'all were monitored by your parents or whoever, you would know how to act today. See, that's the point. You would know how to act today. Because see, me, when I act childish because I'm a fucking fool. That's just me. There's a difference. But I know reality when I see it, so I hear idiots call out things like, familiar spirit, monster spirit, I gotta monitor you. And father you and show you how it was done. And that's the point. Don't mean I'm on your side, don't mean I'm one of you, don't mean I'm with your tribe. That's the point. So like we said, every time when there's something, that a person do or whatever, or don't do, it's always, first is a God, no, who's a familiar spirit? No, it's a bunch of motherfucking people, might be 5, 6 bitches, 5, 6 dudes, pardon the language, 6 dudes, running around scheming, and just collecting info on whatever. So I can collect info on whatever. Does that make me a familiar spirit? No. That makes me a free person that understands, that gets around, and has an open mind. That's all that means. Right. So if somebody can tell this and tell that, of course they can tell. They can tell someone if they're watching you, it don't make them a familiar spirit. They're trying to watch. Exactly. And a person that can't understand you, that makes them that makes them an unsuccessful familiar spirit. It don't got nothing to do with no fucking God. It don't got nothing to do with no Christ. nothing to do with the Holy Spirit. It got something to do with y'all waking up. So wake the fuck up and stop with your nonsense and get there. Now, I'm going to agree with what people say. Get the help you need. Because some of y'all really need help. Because you didn't get the biological help. So you need the adopted help, meaning adopt yourself a fucking psychiatrist. Adopt yourself some fasting. Adopt yourself some wine. Adopt yourself some weed or something. Adopt yourself, if you're a dude, adopt yourself some good pussy. If you're a chick, adopt yourself some good dick to do, but do something. But all of y'all sound familiar. And you know what the familiarity of this whole thing is? None of them still don't prove God in the very end. Right, so like they said, an untaught child can't do something because it wasn't taught. So that's just the point. So y'all claim Jesus Christ should be childlike. He ain't say be childlike and dumb, did he? He tell y'all to be dumb and come to no conclusion. And when it comes to proving him, you can't. That's the familiarity and the stupidity that you have within you. So when you like to use and take words, I love the reverse and right back on you. Sounds familiar, don't it? Peace, atheist. Peace. And from familiar spirits, get familiar with telling us a different story, having some familiar evidence. What actually I do, which is nothing. Pokemon. Right.